let's clear the air for a second. I ask this question oftentimes when I'm talking about prospecting, and I always ask people, what is prospecting to you? And what are you joined this business, and what are you prospecting for? And the answers I get is, well, you know, prospecting to get a client, prospecting to have somebody join the business. And I say, well, that's your mistake, because you're already prospecting for with a purpose or a result in mind. You understand you can't do that? In fact, the reason why you can't do that is because too many prospecting like that don't yield the results that you were aiming for. Too many of those results, negative results, will lead you out the exit door. You will talk yourself out of the business because you will, in your mind, say it doesn't work, and you'll justify it because you prospected after all, but you were prospecting for recruits, prospecting for sales. Drives me crazy when our guys, I ask them, how's it going? And they'd start talking about they were prospecting this guy for a sale, prospecting to sell something. You're out of your mind. What are you prospecting for? This boot camp here tonight, what are these techniques going to help you do? They're going to help you prospect for somebody to give you time. When I'm out and I'm doing my prospecting and I'm getting, and it's a way of life for me. But when I get on the computer and I'm going through LinkedIn or I'm out in the street, I'm not prospecting for a recruit. Would I like that to be the result? Yes. I'm not prospecting for a client. Would I like that to be the result? Of course. What am I prospecting for? I'm prospecting for somebody to be nice enough that they will give me time, their time. Because all I can control is them giving me time. I can't control the rest. If they give me time and I present and I give them showcase them a good opportunity, the result after that, I can't control. I can't worry about that. Neither can you. You can't worry about what people are going to do or not do. The only thing you can control is that point of contact, is them giving you time. If you propose it the right way, you want time. What they do after that, who knows? But effective prospecting requires knowing where the raw material is first. Let me give an example of what I mean by that. Let's say you had a real fancy assembly line, and you had a great great product that just became available. You came up with it, and now you got a factory, and you got all the high-tech machinery, and you've got the computers, and you've got skilled workers, and you've got this incredible futuristic assembly line, and you know that once you put the raw material in the front end of that assembly line, that by the time you get done, it's going to be awesome. It's going to be a product that everybody loves, and that assembly line, everyone working together is going to produce a final product that is beautiful and ready for sale, and you're going to be a millionaire. Now that sounds well and good, but the first part of that assembly line working is having raw material, right? We all know that. But prior to that is finding the raw material, knowing where the raw material is so you could bring them to the first step of the assembly line. That's where most people struggle. They struggle. They understand the assembly line. They understand step 1, right through the rest of it, step 6, end result, quality product. They understand all that. But they struggle with, where do I go get the raw material? How do I find the raw material? Where is the raw material? And then, how do I bring it in? That's the challenge in prospecting. Where do I get the raw material? Where is the storage house for raw material that I can go get? And then how do I bring in to the first step of the assembly? I believe if you master those 2 skills, if you master that, guys, you understand the assembly line takes over? You're not needed on the assembly line. You understand that? But it's the first 2 steps that are important. So it's knowing where to look for raw material and how to seize it. Tonight, that's what we're talking about in the boot camp. But you have to understand, that's where it all begins. And also, let's just settle it in your mind right now that this is and always will be a numbers game. You need a lot of raw material to run through the assembly line. There is no shortcut than high numbers. I wish there was a shortcut. I would love to find it. Many of our leaders in our company will tell you if there was a shortcut, they would have found it already. So there's no shortcut here other than a high numbers game. The shortest cut is high numbers. The shortest cut is high numbers.